For my sport, I chose men's volleyball for my startup. Initially, I think I would get about 7 to 10 students, but now I'd bump that up number as we progress throughout the years. I would 15 to 18, I think would be ideal. Most of the stuff I did with 15. Some equipment. I'm assuming too that we already have a women's program. It's kind of some of the reason I chose the men's because I thought it'd been easier to set up just because we would have heard ever had um, the facility and nets. Um, some things I would need though, a bag for the balls we put in, balls themselves, uniform top and bottom, shoes, socks, warm up top and bottom, and then also a ball cart. I thought would have been necessary. Um, so here's some of the amounts for it. None of it was really I needed all. Like I said, I only needed about 15. The biggest purchase would have been the ball carts. They were kind of expensive, and the balls just because I wanted to make sure I had plenty. Some of the cost for them, like I said, the ball cart was the most expensive. Um, Warm ups didn't come very cheap as well. A little higher than I thought, but actually the rest of it I thought I had a pretty good deal, especially the bag I thought was a lot cheap. Travel, and I'll get into this later, that's the most expensive part. I kind of based off bounce teams around the area. End up with having just 14 away. Later in the program, we'll have 12 and 12. It should drop this number a lot. Because some of the trips were very far, about 9 hours. We had to had hotels, so I budgeted for 5 hotels throughout the trip. Um, Food wasn't really that expensive, and I'll get to that number later. Um, so for our school, they charge about $8 per mile for our charter buses. And like I said, it was quite a bit of travel for them. So it was 5,436 miles that they'll actually cover. $100 for the hotel, give or take, just depending on the hotel you want to have, and regular price for food for the most part. Some personnel that we'll have is the head coach, assistant coach, that kind of asterisk next to it, the officials, and some game workers. Obviously, you have to have a coach. I'm not sure if you haven't have need an assistant just because of the low numbers that are with the men's team. Could probably add that in later, but I went ahead and budgeted just in case we wanted to. Officials typically 4 per match, so we end up paying 40 officials throughout the whole season. That's with our 10 home games. That'll go up a little bit when you add 2 more home games. Same thing with the game day workers. This is also a big cost just because it's a full-time salary. I put about 35,000. This can move up or down just depending on the school. Same thing with the assistant coach if you put one in there. 4,000 I thought was pretty typical. Ended up being about $100 per official. I thought that was more than enough. And then game day workers, the $10 per worker, 50 workers. You can do the math. Some a little more of a breakdown with everything. Just kind of what everything adds up to. Like I said, the bus was a lot. Because I had a couple 9-hour trips, it bumped up the miles quite a bit. I would in the future probably try to limit this a little much because I'd expect that number to drop 5,000 or so, if not a little bit more. 44,000 is quite a bit for travel. Hotels are pretty straightforward. Again, that could give or take the number, and then all the food breakdown. And yeah, I kind of went over this before. The head coach, assistant coach. Like I said, the first probably 2, 3 years, maybe. I don't know if I would have an assistant coach, but if the program progresses, I don't think it'd be a problem to add one in. So altogether, my equipment came out a little bit lower than I actually thought it was going to. Especially for the startup, if they want more equipment, it is fundraise for it, sponsorships, camps. They can set more stuff. I mean, you can make $10,000 right there if they wanted more equipment. Obviously, we'd up that number as the program progresses as well. Travel, like I said, being one of the top ones, and then the personnel. A lot of it was the coaching staff. take 27,000 off of that if you wanted to for the assistant. So total startup, what I got, this also is including the nets and facility because we already have them, came out to 118,537. For our 15-person roster, roughly for our school athletes, for a team average, probably about 10,000 per student. Obviously, it's give or take per student, and with the scholarships with volleyball, isn't going to be as high as soccer, football, or something like that. So I came together with the 15 that we hope to have. That's about $150,000 revenue. Obviously, first season, this will be around 100,000. Fans, I picked about 20 to 30 fans per game, roughly 3 per ticket. So you're looking at anywhere from $60 to $90 per game. And thank you for watching.